Welcome to another Zincast, and yes, this is the second Zincast of the day. And like I said, I want to wait for those 12Z model guidance and do a video. And I think there's a lot of people, well, there's a lot of snow lovers who might be disappointed by the 12Z model runs. I mean, not all of them, but the majority of them. And I think that if you're jumping off a bridge or or wondering, being like, what happened and all that, I think that maybe you're overreacting, because I don't believe that this is in any way, shape, or form game over, and I'm going to explain it to you now. And again, these people that I think that are going to be saying storm canceled, or we're not going to be getting too much snow, 1 to 3, 2 to 4, something like that. People that are saying that, I think, are looking at the surface maps and the total snowfall maps, and that's all you're looking at. And I just want to show you why that is incorrect and why those, I think, are having some trouble, and how the 500 millibar pattern, the 500 millibar maps that we're going to look at, and we're going to look at the Euro. We're actually going to look at the Euro from today, 12Z, from the 6Z run, which I never look at, but we're going to look at that one because it was a good run. And then the 12Z yesterday, which produced those clown maps that I mentioned in that first video, where I actually had it running in the background, that showed like crazy, ungodly amounts of snow for a lot of people. Yeah, so we're going to look at all of those. I'm going to show you how the upper levels look very similar. I mean, they're not identical, but they look very similar. But your precipitation shield and your surface maps did not follow suit. Okay, so the 12Z Euro. So let's go ahead and pull this through. And okay, here's the key. Do I have my drawing tool on? Do I know how to use it? I do. Okay, this piece of energy, okay, that's great drawing skill, okay. All this here, okay, this is diving south from the north, okay, and we have this one sweeping in, okay, and again, if you watched videos from previously, you guys already knew this, and it comes in. Now there are some changes over here where it's a little bit more strung out, but it's fine because it does wrap it in, okay, and again, at this point, at 72 hours, okay, which is 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, okay, look what it does here. It's starting to cut off the upper level low, okay? It's closing off the upper level low, all right? And if we just go back a little bit, remember we were talking about the trough axis, right? If we draw a line, right? So it's positive here at 1 p.m. on Friday, okay? But then as we go through this, see, it's straight up and down. That's going to neutral, right? And this is 1 a.m. on Saturday, and then 7 a.m. on Saturday, where it starts to close off the upper level low. It's starting to go negative as well, okay? So that was the progression. So that was the key. When does it go from positive to neutral, negative, and when can it close off that low? Because closing off the low means the low is getting stronger, okay? And when it wraps in all that energy, that strengthens the low, and it closes off, and the storm begins to bomb out and really pull in the moisture, and you get the heavy snow rates and everything, and that's a good run, right? And let's go look at next time frame, and just want to show you where the closed off low is over here, okay? Moved up that way. I mean, this is Very, very good run. You have energy feeding in. Look at this trough, okay? Where's the energy pointing? Okay? Right? See that? That's where how the energy is swinging. Let's go to the next screen. Okay? Where's the energy pointing? Okay? There it is. Again, energy is pointing in. Okay? So I like this run. But, again, if you look at the surface of this run, okay, there's storm looks like it went east. And I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to show you why. You see that convection, this convection, this convection, this convection, okay? All that convection. Even here, this time frame, okay? There's a ton of convection out here, okay, in the ocean. That is convective feedback. I mentioned that in a video. I think that storm that we got 4 inches on, that looked like the models originally were showing it going more east. And I was like, the precipitation shield is going to be a little bit more west than modeled, because the models were trying to put the low following the convection. And if the model sets up the low where the convection is, then it sets up the precipitation shield that way, and it ruins all that. That's why the surface maps, shouldn't really look at them until you get really close in. And at that point, that's when you want to start looking at the mesoscale models, the short-term models that are designed for the short term, and to really focus in on those dynamics. All right, so I want to show you this. Let's stop at 7 a.m. on Saturday, okay? And let's switch over to 7 a.m. on Saturday. This is the 12Z model run, European model run from yesterday. It's the one that the clown maps were all from, okay? And if you look here, okay, let's bounce back and forth. It, in the latest model run, it actually starts closing off that low earlier. See, it's not closed off here, okay? Next frame it does, right? That's good. That means the storm is getting stronger sooner, which will pull the low pressure, will keep the low pressure closer to the coast, okay? Let's go ahead and look at the 6Z let's go back to the same time frame. What did I say? 7 a.m. Okay, so this is the 6Z run earlier this morning. And if we compare it with the 12Z run, look how similar that looks. And again, this has that closed off low there. Okay. And that does also actually almost in the exact same spot. Okay. And this 6Z run was another really good run. Okay. The thing is that this run had a little bit more convection issues and model issues. That's I mean, you can see it on the surface map, and you could match it up with this information here. Let's go ahead and actually switch this. Go 12Z, go to 700 millibar also, okay? You're going to see, look at this mess out here, right here, okay? Look at all these dynamics out here, okay? It sees this, and the surface follows this, okay? And I'm telling you, it's putting the low too far east. So let us, I mentioned the surface about 8,000 times. Let us actually look at the surface here. Let's go, there it is. And here we come. And right there, you could see, and I'm going to draw it in because it's trying to put the low pressure here, because that's where, if we come back to this model, that's where that convection is. See how that kind of worked out right there? I drew that L, and look at where that convection is, right? But in reality, the low pressure, let's go back to that same time frame. There it is, 7 a.m. Saturday, 7 a.m. Saturday. Low pressure is probably somewhere around here, okay? In this kink, let's get rid of that. But again, it's following this convection, and that's why it's got it further east. Right? So it's following that instead of putting it here. And again, all these upper level dynamics are trying to show it's pointing. It's literally pointing where the storm is going and where the energy is flowing. Okay, but yeah. Anyway, I digress. This is a good model run. I like this model run. Okay, this European. If you're just looking at the surface map, you're looking at the snowfall map. Here, you want to see the snowfall map? Here, I'll depress people. Here you go. Here's the snowfall map. Watch this. Oh, look. Barely nothing over here. Here's a clown map for you. But no, seriously. Okay? Because it had the low pressure too far out east. Excuse me. I can't talk anymore. So yeah, this definitely, again, the upper levels is what you need to look at, and you need to understand what the model is doing. That's why they don't make the weather. And if anyone is trying to base the forecast, if networks were waiting to see, oh, I'm going to look at all these snowfall maps and then make our forecast, then they're going to be wrong. I mean, look, still 3 days to get to the event. So it could all end up shifting east, right? And then technically works out, but you have to look at what the model is doing, and you have to follow the 500 millibar low. I'm telling you. Okay, let us go to the NAM. Okay, this is the NAM, and I'm gonna back it up. It feeds in. Let's back it up some more. Okay, so here it comes. It rounds the bend. Storm system rounding the bend. Right, it's getting consolidated, getting all the pieces all together. And then, boom, it starts getting stronger. And you, remember I was talking about tighter? Let me switch my color here, okay, to blue. See, this is a little bit tighter. That was bad drawing. Bad drawing. All right, let's try again. Oops. Let's try it a third time. It's a little bit tighter. The other one was a little bit more strung out, okay? But this is a little bit tighter. And again, if we follow this through, and this is the 12Z NAM, you see it definitely goes negative. It closes off, and it's you know, if you look at the surface map on this, hey, might as well, right? I'm showing you guys surface maps. You'll see it looks really pretty for everyone, right? Here we go. That's a lot of snow for everyone. Okay, but this is not the tail end. This model only goes out to 84 hours. This is a tail end of this model run. So I wouldn't sit there and be like, oh, NAM says it. That's definitely going to happen. But still, we're looking and we're comparing the models, and we see similarities in the upper dynamics. And that's when you're saying, okay, good. Right? And again, remember what I was saying? Look where it's pointing. Okay? There you go. All right. Next one. GFS. All right, and it's 12Z GFS, and here and the pieces are coming, right? And here they go, and it kind of strings this out. Okay, remember that stringing out thing is bad. We want all that to get injected in, and it ends up doing it, but the longer it takes, the longer it stays positive to positive, and then remember, we want it to go to neutral, and we want it to get to negative as fast as possible. But it still does. Look over here. Okay, this is positive. I mean neutral. Sorry, neutral. And this is definitely negative. And if we follow this through, I'm getting really good at this drawing tool, guys. If we follow this through, look where it's pointing. But look at all this convection out here. Look at all this. Woo! Right? So where do you think it's trying to put the low pressure? In fact, if we go backwards in time here, let's go backwards in time. You see this here? Look at this. Okay? The convection out there, it's trying to start this low pressure somewhere out here, and then of course it's going to take it up the coast, but be really far east. Right? You gotta follow the upper level low. And I'm telling you, this is the stuff that I'm seeing, and that's why I think that, you know, these things will correct, and we should see these models back into the West a little bit, potentially. Here, might as well, right? Let's go look at the surface map. Let's have at it. Okay. Oh, look at that. Look where I said, right? Here, let's go back to the, just for fun, let's go back to the 500 millibar. Okay. Where's that convection start popping, right? There you go. Okay, back to the surface. We don't need that. Back to the surface. Okay, so look. See, it gets confused, puts a load there, then it bounces it here, and then it's trying to follow that convection, and again, this is, you know, look, this barely hits the tri-state area. Barely hits the New York City area, East End of Long Island, and so on, and obviously New England. In all the model runs, the one thing that's consistent is New England getting pretty hammered, even though this one completely misses out on Vermont. So anyone with that Vermont trip planned, if you're following the GFS, if it's that east, you know, it's going to be cold and cloudy. That's about it. But like I said, that's not what you want to look at. You want to look at this, the upper levels, and I'm telling you, this tells me that this has a ton more potential to be a lot further west, and I do believe that the models are not placing the low in the proper place and making the precipitation show proper place. Convective feedback, that's what it's called. Yeah, that's it. So I mean, again, the upper levels are showing promise. The surface panels and the precipitation charts and your total snowfall charts and all those things that they like to bomb you on Twitter and social media and all that, that is not showing promise. Okay, but there's reasons for that, and there's reason why you don't look at that. Again, we're 3 days away from the event. Okay, that's a lot of time. There's still so much to work out. You cannot write off this storm. Of course, we got to be paying attention. We got to be watching it. Anyone that tells you that it's going to snow a foot right now, they're just guessing. I mean, look, the signs are there that this has the potential to be a really big storm, but the signs are also there that this has potential to be a miss. It's going to be an almost all or nothing type storm. So you want to keep an eye on it, and again, you got to be looking at the upper levels. And if you don't give a crap about the upper levels, then I'll look at the upper levels and I'll let you know what that means. And I like this signal, okay? I like the way this looks. The European 12Z, to me, when I was watching this here, okay, when it was coming out, and we got to that, I was like, oh, yes, this is going to be a massive hit. And then, you know, I'm checking my Twitter feed, and everyone seemed like it was the end of the world. I was like, how? Are they not looking at the same thing? I made sure I loaded up the right model, and then I realized, oh, the surface. Let me go take a look. And then I saw why. So anyway, convective feedback, folks. Listen, the models don't make the weather. The weather makes the weather. Hit all the buttons, like, subscribe. I've already taken up way too much of your time. But hey, if you like this type of stuff, then leave a comment below, because I love this type of stuff. I could sit here and talk all day. Maybe I should live stream just me sitting down talking about weather and models the entire day. Twitch. No, I can't do that. I have a real job. Anyway, folks, have a good one, and I'll keep you posted. We'll do another Zincast tomorrow.